I want to talk about putting the trunnion pivot bolt in the control arms on a TR4A or a TR6. They both have the same system. This setup has been put together with the wrong kind of bushings, and you can tell because the pivot bolt is turning when you move the control arms. The pivot bolt is supposed to be stationary and the control arms move around it. So what I'm going to do is take these bad bushings out, put the correct bushings in, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so we got the old bushings out. Here they are. You can tell that they're wrong because you can barely fit them inside these sleeves, and they're supposed to rotate on those sleeves or once they're all assembled, and so if they're going to be tight there, then they're going to be no good when you get them together. So if we take one of these new bushings, you can see it just slides right in there, no problem. So that's what we need. So we need to put the control arms in place, so I figure out how they're supposed to go in there. Now if you look at it, the bottom of the control arm has to be facing this way because the ground is going to be down here once we set this thing up straight. And so we know that the spring pans go on the bottom. We also know that the smaller holes are the ones that these bushings fit into. The bigger holes are for the outside bushings. So these will go outside and these will go this way. So this is how they're going to go, like this. Okay, first you take one of these O-rings. It's a square O-ring, it's not round. I mean, the profile is square. You can maybe see that. You put it in the water shield. Then you put the bushing in there so that when this gets tightened down, the O-ring is going to keep any water from getting in past that bushing. Alright, so that one's ready to fit in there. And now you just do the other ones just like that. So we'll take another, there's some rubber on that. Take another water shield, another O-ring, another bushing. Stick that one in the other direction. There we go. And we do the same thing on the other control arm. Water shield, O-ring, bushing, control arm. One more time. Oh, we're doing that one backwards. There we go. Okay, now those are all ready. Make sure you get these oriented the right direction. I think Triumph used nylon for these because nylon is stable and it's slippery. So you don't really need to put any grease in there, but I figure I've got some Prothane grease left over from another job, so might as well. Put a little bit on the inside of these bushings, and I'll also put some on the outside edge flange. Like so. Alright, so now I've taken one of the steel sleeves and put it on the bolt and the washer first and then the sleeve, making sure that I've got the spring pan bolts oriented correctly. We'll stick this through there, put the sleeve in, and then we put the washer on the other side, Then we're ready to go into the trunnion with it. Alright, one side is done, and now we're going to do the other side. I'm going to slip this on there. Yeah, one of these things got boogered up, so I'm going to have to ream that out a little bit. Right, so now that should fit. I'll go ahead and put another washer on this side, and we've already got these in place, so we just need the sleeve on there. Let's see, there we go. Put this on there. One more washer, find a nice flat one, and then a castle nut. So, this should all go together. Now we can torque that sucker to 50 pounds, and that bolt will stop turning. Alright, how are we going to do this? I'm thinking, stick this on the head. This part on the nut. Now let's see. Draw it down a bit. Whew. Still not tight. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting there. A bit more. A bit more. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. So, these things will turn. You see that bolt? That bolt is stationary. That's how it's supposed to look. I just need to put a cotter pin in there. We will be done. So I was watching another YouTube video about how to do this, and I realized that the method that I showed earlier of putting the bushings in does not really work very well, because the rubber O-rings can get twisted. I don't know if you can see that on this one, but it is twisted right here and here, so the O-ring is not flat in there, and it's not going to do as good a job if it's not straight. So what I've done instead is I'm taking the O-ring and I'm first applying it to the edge of the nylon bushing like this, and you can see that it's not twisted that way. And then, then put the bushing into the water shield, and that O-ring will be nice and straight all the way around.